Mark was a man living a monotonous life in the bustling city, where he worked as a manager in a company. His routine was predictable, and his days blended into one another. One evening, as he sat exhausted after another long day at work, he received an unexpected invitation from his friends. They wanted to take a cruise to escape the pressures of their jobs. It was an opportunity Mark couldn't resist. He soon found himself packing for the trip, bidding farewell to his family and friends with a sense of excitement he hadn't felt in years. The escape he longed for was finally happening. As the yacht set sail, Mark and his friends were enveloped in laughter and light-hearted conversations. The ocean stretched endlessly around them, and the worries of their daily lives seemed to fade away. But their joy was short-lived. Suddenly, the weather turned, and a violent storm descended upon them. The once serene sea became a nightmare of towering waves and fierce winds. Mark and his friends struggled to control the yacht, but the storm's ferocity was overwhelming. In a terrifying twist, the yacht capsized, and Mark found himself alone, drifting in the vast ocean. Clinging to the wreckage, he fought to stay afloat. In the distance, he spotted a small island and, using a makeshift paddle, he began to row towards it. Mark ventured deeper into the ancient cave, aware of the old traps laid to protect hidden treasures. Every step was cautious as he navigated the treacherous terrain. In one harrowing moment, his foot barely missed a pressure plate. He breathed a sigh of relief as he finally saw daylight breaking through the cave's exit. Outside, Mark decided to build a shelter and use the gold he'd found to craft tools for survival. Days went by as he attempted to build a small boat, desperate to escape the island's grip. As he labored, strange weather patterns began to emerge, causing Mark to suspect that the island held unnatural secrets. One night, from the corner of his eye, he noticed strange lights flickering atop the island's central mountain. Driven by curiosity and a sense of foreboding, Mark decided to climb the mountain to uncover the source of the lights. His ascent revealed ancient remains, hinting at a civilization that once thrived on the island. At the summit, Mark discovered an ancient temple, the origin of the mysterious lights. In its center stood a colossal golden statue. He began to study the inscriptions on the statue when suddenly, the sound of footsteps broke his concentration. Turning swiftly, he encountered a group of mysterious people dressed in ancient garb. They revealed themselves as the island's guardians and warned him that he was not welcome. Mark attempted to explain his situation, but their response was clear. He must leave immediately. Fear gripped Mark as he fled, the guardians in pursuit. He managed to lose them and raced back to the shore. There, he stumbled upon an old boat. With no other options and the sense of danger looming, Mark decided to take his chances and attempt an escape using the weather-beaten vessel. Mark gathered as much gold and jewelry as he could and began preparing the boat. Suddenly, the guards reappeared and tried to prevent him from leaving. A struggle ensued between Mark and the guards, where he used his wit to overcome them. Mark managed to sail away from the island, but storms started again. He tried to fight against the waves and wind that were pushing him back towards the island. Suddenly, a Coast Guard rescue boat appeared on the horizon. Mark was rescued by the Coast Guard and taken to safety. In the hospital, Mark recovered from his injuries and talked to investigators about what happened. He told them about the island, the gold, and the guards, but no one believed his story. Released from the hospital, Mark found himself at home once more. He felt confused between reality and dream, questioning whether his experience was real. Days later, Mark opened his bag and found a small piece of gold that had fallen by accident. Looking at the gold piece, Mark remembered everything that had happened and felt uneasy. He decided to return to his normal life, but couldn't shake the thoughts that haunted him. Mark began researching about a lost island in historical archives, finding evidence of its existence. He contacted his friends and told them his story, but they laughed and thought it was pure fiction. Mark, desperate and determined, finds an expert in ancient civilizations and shares his experience. The researcher, intrigued by Mark's tale, decides to assist him in the search for the mysterious island. Together, Mark and the researcher assemble a team, eager and ready for the upcoming expedition. The team prepares diligently, their excitement palpable, as they gather supplies and coordinate their journey. Mark, however, spends time mentally preparing, bracing himself for the challenges that lie ahead and determined to uncover the truth hidden within the island. The team arrives at the supposed location, scanning the area meticulously, yet finding nothing at first. Skepticism creeps into Mark's mind, but then he notices subtle changes in the water around them. Suddenly, the island materializes from the fog, almost as if it had been concealed all along. They land on the island once more, their sense of adventure reignited, and begin to explore anew. The enigmatic guards reappear, but with a different demeanor, seeming to expect Mark's return. Approaching the guards cautiously, Mark attempts to negotiate, but he is issued a final warning. In a startling revelation, Mark discovers that the island hides more than just gold. It guards a secret far more precious. The guards unveil the truth. The island is a gateway to another world, with the gold serving merely as a decoy to protect the more significant mystery. Faced with a monumental choice, Mark must decide between returning to his ordinary life or venturing into the new world. Choosing curiosity and adventure, Mark tells his team to return and share his story. As they depart, Mark vanishes into the ancient temple, ready to embrace the unknown that lies beyond the hidden gateway. Mark navigated the dense jungle, pushing past thick vines and foliage. His heart raced as he stumbled upon a hidden entrance, partially obscured by overgrown greenery. Curiosity piqued, he cautiously stepped through the opening, which led him down a narrow, winding tunnel. The air grew cooler and the light dimmer as he descended further. Suddenly, the tunnel opened up into a vast, subterranean city, shrouded in an ancient, almost mystical aura. Mark's eyes widened in awe at the sight of towering structures, intricate carvings, and glimmering artifacts illuminated by the faint glow of bioluminescent plants. The city seemed untouched by time, a perfect preservation of an advanced yet forgotten civilization. Filled with a sense of wonder, Mark began to explore the city's secrets. He wandered through spacious courtyards, peeked into shadowy alcoves, and examined enigmatic machines that buzzed with latent energy. Every corner of the city held clues to a civilization that possessed remarkable technological prowess. In the heart of the city, Mark stumbled upon an ancient library. Dust-covered scrolls and tablets lined the walls, filled with glyphs and symbols that spoke of profound knowledge. With a mixture of excitement and reverence, he deciphered texts that revealed the island was once the thriving center of a great civilization renowned for its advancements in science and culture. As he delved deeper into the library's trove, Mark unearthed scrolls detailing how to harness the city's technological marvels. A particularly worn manuscript outlined a procedure to reopen a portal to the outside world, something that had seemed impossible since his arrival on the island. Determined, Mark gathered the necessary components and made his way back to the ancient temple he had encountered earlier in his journey. The temple's ornate walls and towering columns added a sense of gravity to his mission. Following the instructions meticulously, Mark activated the mechanism embedded in the temple. The ground trembled, and a bright light engulfed the chamber. Slowly, a doorway materialized, shimmering with unknown energy. Without hesitation, Mark stepped through the portal. In an instant, he was gone, leaving behind the Golden Island and the world of discoveries he had unlocked, ready to bring this newfound knowledge back to his own world.